The wedding industry has become a leading source of income for entrepreneurs, generating over 30 billion shillings a year, according to data from Samantha Bridal. In Kenya, over 28,000 couples tie the knot and about 5 million weddings are conducted in Africa. The cost ranges from 500,000 shillings to the more extravagant 43 million shillings, including the honeymoon. During the wedding, everyone is waiting for the big reveal of the bridal gown when the bride walks down the aisle, as each bride wants to make an unforgettable statement.
People put a lot of importance on their wedding day. It's one of the biggest days of their lives. They're making a huge decision. They're making a crossover in their status in life. On top of that, they are also spending a hell of a lot of money to create this gown. Lots of pictures are going to be taken. So they feel very deeply and very strongly about this dress. So for us, there's a lot of pressure to make sure that we meet that expectation. But then even for us, like, we want to see our brides happy.
Ogake Mosomi, a fashion designer, has been making wedding gowns for over 7 years now.
I was inspired by many things. First of all, growing up, I was very petite and I couldn't find clothes for myself. So I always felt like I wanted to design for people like me who couldn't find something for them in the market, something cute in the market. And then also I was inspired by my parents. I think both of them are creative. And there was always that sort of like creative energy going on in the house. So those are some of the things which inspired me.
While making wedding gowns, Ogake has had varied experience with different brides.
So the part of making wedding gowns doesn't vary so much. Like a gown, it's almost as if to say a gown is a gown in a sense, because the processes that you go through are kind of similar. The specifics in terms of the aesthetics might differ, and that's where the fun is. So helping a bride realize her dream wedding gown is a lot of fun for us. There's challenging bits where we're trying out things which we've never done before. That's always exciting. But then it can also be extremely stressful, because at the end of the day, a wedding gown, I think, is the most emotive dress that someone will ever wear.
Budgeting for a wedding dress helps in managing expectation when shopping for one.
It's a point of frustration for us because, of course, for us, we'd like to be able to, create gowns which are out of this world, but we are also trying to be realistic and make sure that we are not making people, sell their houses or sell their cars in order to make a wedding gown. So finding the balance and maybe also helping people to see how we can realize their dreams or get close to their dreams within the budget that they have.
Wedding on a budget for any couple can be achieved by knowing how your wedding should look like.
Life is not so linear. We can afford to do with less, or we can change what luxury looks like. So I can still do an amazing wedding on a budget. Maybe it means that I cut down the number of people. So rather than having 1,000 people at my wedding, I have 50 people who I really care about, and then I can channel my money into the things that I really, really care about.
Here are some of the do's and don'ts for any bride shopping for a gown.
For starters, make sure that you have a budget and make sure that you are working within your means. If you have a little bit of leeway, of course, make the dress of your dreams. But then the other thing is, I'd also say is be true to yourself. Create a gown which is memorable for you, because you will be looking at those photos for the rest of your life. That album is yours. So we have a tendency as women, we like to travel in packs or to bring our squad when we are coming to choose a dress. It's a good thing, but maybe sometimes you also want to just meet your designer by yourself. That first reconnaissance meeting, just go by yourself, have an honest discussion, figure out exactly what it is that you want for your gown before now you integrate other people, because what tends to happen, those many voices, you end up wearing a dress which was not yours.
Even as the wedding industry keeps on growing, one needs to look out when picking a vendor to avoid being conned.